We've been dealing with a big exclusive this morning, which we brought to you live at 6:30 when we first started the show. And it is, of course, our exclusive that the police have arrested 120,000 people for crime across the country in last year between August 23 and July 24. All crooks from abroad, responsible for 120,000 crimes across the country. This is as a result of 37 different police forces being asked questions, requests for public information on what types of offences were being committed. Common assault, assault by beating, violence against the person most common, but also drug dealing, shoplifting as well. And incredibly, 119,805 arrests of foreign nationals were made in total by the 37 police forces which responded to our investigation. Let's talk now to Harry Tanguy, former police sergeant, of course, to get the lowdown on all of this. Harry, very good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Mike.
Good to see you. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it's not, we've got enough of our own problems here. We've got enough criminals, basically, running around the streets of Britain. We don't really need to import any more, thanks, do we?
No, well, so, I mean, my maths isn't always the best, but it's slightly better than Diane Abbott's. But I'm looking at 120,000 arrests of foreign nationals. The figures are a little bit late, so I've added another million from 2022 as 12 million foreign nationals in this country, about 15%.
Right.
And that leads to, if one person was committing one crime, to make it nice and neat, which isn't the case, but that's 1%. So if we compare that with the general population, that was 720,000 arrests out of 67 million population. Wow. Again, that is just 1%. So you can say, oh, well, we're okay. The foreign nationals coming into the country exactly the same ratio as the general public. But I thought we were being told that we've got the best of the best here. We're getting teachers and nurses.
Doctors.
And yeah, we're getting all these great people. When actually what we're doing is we're accepting people into the country, or we're importing people in the country that fit the general population. Well, I thought we were trying to do better than that. And I think, and the variables, of course, as well are, you know, are the drugs a bit of personal use cannabis with the general population, or are they Albanian gangs or organised gang bringing in, you know, shiploads of heroin? So, and the same for sort of thefts and assaults. So it needs to be looked into a little bit more detail. And it's a shame that people like, you know, talk radio have to bring these figures out to dig a little deeper than us being told generally by the government.
Well, right, and we also know, I think, that the figure for people, foreign criminals in prison in this country is something in the region of about 10 or 11,000 out of about 80,000, so slightly more than 10%, basically. In terms of the numbers of people in prison who are not deported. We got another story today of a guy who was from Romania who was put in prison for a terribly violent threat that he made to a woman. He was going to threaten to cut her face open, basically, like the Joker in the movie. He was deported after having served a couple of years in prison, I think, and then he came back and he was discovered driving around the streets of Dundee 17 days later, and he said, well, it doesn't matter how many times you deport me, I'm just going to keep coming back. And he's a violent criminal offender.
As a police officer on our streets, I would say, could we stop using our families and friends as guinea pigs to see whether these people, criminals generally, want to experiment on our population again? We need to be a bit more ruthless. We cannot be the solution to all people across the world. And we have to make some tough decisions. And that's what I see we're missing at the moment. And those tough decisions are, why are we keeping these in our prisons? Export them out of there. And if they come back, they go back. Yeah. And this is why I think I'm a great favour. We used to always call it the Criminal Rights Act. It's not a Human Rights Act, it's the Criminal Rights Act. And it's the thing that costs this country an awful lot of money and extends the life of these individuals in this country for them to a life of crime. So we've got to be more ruthless and stop trying to please all people all of the time, or especially those who shout the loudest, who are usually quite a small number. Yeah, absolutely right. Harry, great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Harry Tanguy, their former police sergeant. A bit of breaking news for you as well on that subject, that new Home Office figures, the Home Office has put calls out to asylum hotel providers, apparently, looking for more space after a spike in illegal channel crossings. Labour promised to end the use of hotels, which cost £4 million a day, but apparently they're now looking for more capacity, which might mean reopening hotels that have closed or looking at new ones. So another broken promise from Labour.